It wasn't as thick as I wanted them to be, and then they just started like getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And I was like, I'm not about to be out here looking like Lil Wayne. That's what we're not gonna do. Hey y'all, it's me, China, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So do y'all notice something different about your girl? Yeah, as y'all seen from the title of this video, this is just gonna be a simple sit down video of me talking to y'all about my lock journey and everything like that. I did recently cut my locks off about maybe like 2 months ago. First, y'all, of course, y'all know I got me a little drinky drink. Just know whenever I'm doing a sit down video, I have to have a glass of something to drink. So today we are drinking pineapple juice with just a splash of tequila. So we're gonna cheers to this video. Cheers to starting fresh, and cheers to being a bad. Okay, so where do I want to start? I honestly don't remember when I started my lock journey, which is really bad because I know a lot of people like document it and stuff like that. But honestly, when I started my lock journey, I was in a phase of just like, I'm tired of doing my hair. I'ma just lock it up. So the first set of locks I got, I started it myself. And I didn't like the way that they were turning out. So I combed them out, and then I went to my cousin and she started them, but the parts was a little too big and I knew I wanted my locks to be on the smaller side. So I combed those out. So the third set that I got, I actually went to a shop and I showed them a picture. You know, I let them know that I did not want thick locks. I wanted my locks to be on the skinnier side. So I went to them and I did start off with coils. So I went to the shop. What was the name of it? I think it was called the Nappy Roots or something like that. It was some shop and I literally just looked it up that day. So I got there, they washed my hair, you know, I sat down, I talked to the lady and told her exactly how I wanted my locks, the sizing and everything. And they quoted me a price and I don't remember what it was. Y'all, this was like 5-6 years ago. I literally don't remember. Started off with coils and they were so small because I was tired of doing my hair. At the time I had put a texturizer in my hair. So after a while, you know, my new growth was coming back in and you could tell like I had this much new growth and the rest was just like permed ends. So of course I had to cut those permed ends off before I started my lock journey. So I did do a big chop once before. So at that time, y'all, my hair was so short. So when I started, and y'all know coils, it shrinks your hair anyway. So my coils was literally like this small. I'm not even lying to y'all. They were so freaking tiny. So when I got up from the chair, I was just like, what the heck is this? So yeah, I didn't really like the way they looked, mainly because it was just so short and they were so skinny and it was just all shriveled up. And I was like, yeah, I need to do something to my hair. And at this time I was in college, you know, so yeah, couldn't go out looking like that. So literally the next day, y'all, well, actually that day when I got home, I was on Instagram trying to find somebody to do my hair because I was like, either I need to get a wig put on, I need to get some locks put over top of these, I need something, but I'm not about to be walking around like this. So I found somebody and she literally was like, yes, I could take you tomorrow. Y'all talking about a girl was hype. I was so hyped. So I was like, ooh, bet. So I let her know. I was like, I did just get locks. But she was like, yeah, that's fine. I could do locks over locks. So I showed up the next morning and she was like, oh, these are fresh. And I was like, yeah, I just got them done yesterday. She was able to put some locks over top of my locks. And at the time, this is when they were doing like the tight faux locks. So I had that and it had like curls at the end. I got it in like black and brown. It was real cute. So literally the day after I got my locks, I put stuff on top of it, which is bringing me to my first point of why I combed out my locks. One, my locks were starting to thin out. I honestly, looking back at it now, I was doing so much to my hair, like trying to manipulate it, to hide it and everything else. My whole thing was, okay, I'm gonna cover them up until they get to a certain length and I'm comfortable with wearing it out. And that's literally what I did. So like I said, the first day I got it done. The next day I put locks over top of them. So my locks didn't have the chance to like, they went through the stages, but they were like constricted in a point. So they didn't have this chance to like flourish and really like swell up as big as they can get, because I always either A, had it covered or had something over top of them. So I loved my locks, but I just got to a point where they were starting to thin. I wanted them thicker, and I'm like, maybe when I started, I should have started with thicker parts. But I know for a fact it was from me putting styles over top of my locks in the beginning stages. So if you are starting locks, I will say do not do that. Let your hair just do what it do. Let it out, let it breathe, water it, oil it, which I still was doing with while I had my styles in. But your hair needs to be out, you know, it needs to do what it's gonna do. It needs to get that chance to swell up and contract and just go through the lock phases. And I was just trying to skip that whole step. I was like, I don't want to go through the ugly phase. I'm gonna cover them up. And that's exactly what I did. So after I took those locks out, I think I got a wig put on. So I had the wig put on, and I probably wore that for a couple of months. Then when I took that off, I think I got box braids put over them. Like, y'all, when I tell y'all, back to back to back to back to back to back to back, I was doing styles over top of my locks. So then it got to a point where, you know, it hit my little shoulder. So I was like, okay, you know, I can do this. Started wearing it out. I was like, oh, bet, yeah, I can do this. Now I got some length, you know what I'm saying? I really honestly didn't start wearing my locks out until like a year to 2 years, like literally. So that resulted in it like not doing what it needed to do. The second reason was I felt like my hair was damaged. So I did color my locks. I dyed my locks brown, and they was super duper cute. So I dyed them, and then I dyed it about like 2 or 3 times. And then after that, I dyed them back black. So I just put like a black rinse or a black dye over top of them. So I think that with the bleach and stuff, I feel like that made them a little damaged. So that was reason number 2. And the reason number 3, y'all, I was so particular about my locks. Like, I loved not even a fresh retwist, but I didn't like my hair just looking wild. So I would always do my hair, whether it's retwist in the front or just something, but I had to look, you know, put together. I'm just that type of girl. I don't like to be out here looking fucking crazy. So I was doing a lot of stuff with my locks to make sure that I was looking presentable. And then I work in a corporate office. I work 8 to 5. I have to go in the office. And at this time I wasn't working from home. So I was in the office every day. So I was like, dang, my hair, I have to do something to my hair. I have to twist it. I got to put it in this style. I got to do this. I got to do that. So all of that manipulation was another part as to why they started thinning out. So then I tried to combine some of my locks. It was like some in the front, some in the back. I tried to combine them. And the way I did it, I didn't even freaking do it right. So I literally just like 2-strand twisted them together. And I got like a crochet needle, and I tried to crochet them together a little bit, but still you could tell like it looked crazy. Then the ends was literally like this. So say like I 2-strand twist, and then the ends, it still was sticking out. So I think they call it like a monster head or something like that, where it's a lock and then it got 2 ends. So I had a lot of those in my head, which they just started sticking out. And then honestly, I think I was just getting irritated with my hair. Not irritated, I was getting tired of my hair, honestly, because they wasn't as thick as I wanted them to be. And then they just started like getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And I was like, I'm not about to be out here looking like Lil Wayne. That's what we're not gonna do. So I was like, I just need to cut it and possibly start fresh. And then another thing I did, so with locks, you guys, when you're growing your hair out, for me and for a majority of the people I know who have locks, the back of your hair is gonna grow way longer than the front and the sides. I freaking hated that. So what I did was I cut my hair, and people used to always say they didn't think my locks was mine because of the way I cut it. It looked like if you were to get bob faux locks put in your hair. Like I literally was rocking a bob with my locks because I wanted my locks all to be the same length. So I cut them and it literally looked like I had a bob. So when I cut it, y'all, they were already thin. So then I cut it. So like the ends of most of my locks just had like this blunt cut, because I don't think I cut it right, honestly. When you cut locks, I think you're supposed to cut it in a downward motion, and I just went straight across. So my ends was blunt as hell. They were just so blunt. You could tell clearly that I cut them, and I tried to like round them out. I tried to do whatever to make my ends go back to, you know, that roundness, but it just was not working. It looked crazy. So I was just like, whatever. I'm very good at like covering up certain things, you know what I'm saying? So if my hair, I knew for a fact like problem areas within my hair, but I had a great way of covering up so other people didn't know. So even like to this day, when people see my hair and like, oh my gosh, you cut your locks, nothing was wrong with your locks. Y'all didn't see that, but there was like a bunch of things that was wrong, but I just did a great job with either masking it up or styling it a certain way so you couldn't really tell, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, that was why, another reason why I cut my locks. And honestly, all of the things that I'm listing is things that I did to make my hair do what it did. If you go through the process regularly, you get your locks, you know, you let them swell up, you let it go through its phases, you know, and I'm not saying that you can't get protective styles over your locks, because you definitely can, but just not as often as I was doing them. Like not for a year to 2 years straight, because that's crazy. Honestly, now that I think about it, that's freaking wild. So I don't want to discourage y'all, because I know when you have locks, I know sometimes you get tired of your hair, you know, you want to switch it up a little bit, you want to put on a cute little wig, you can do that, but just don't do it that often, because you still want your hair to be healthy, you still want your locks to be thick. And for me, I wanted thicker locks. And some people who like the thinner looking locks, you know, or whatever, they probably would have been like, yeah, nothing was wrong with your locks, you should have kept it. But for me and my preference, I just wanted thicker locks. So yeah, so just make sure that you guys are going through the process properly. Make sure that you're actually taking care of your hair, and you know, you're just letting it do what it do. Don't try to manipulate your hair so much. Don't try to do, you know, whatever. You're gonna have to go through the quote unquote ugly phase. You're gonna have to, you know, go through all the frizziness. You're gonna have to go through all of that. So do not skip those steps, because that's important in how your hair is gonna turn out 5, 6, 10 years from now. So go through the phases. And if you don't wanna go through the phases, then you can do what I'm actually about to do right now. You can do permanent locks, which I have an appointment in like an hour to 30 minutes to go to my consultation. So if you don't want to go through all the phases, there is ways that you can get locks without going through the phases. So one is permanent lock extensions, and they have like tons and different kinds of lock extensions that you can get. They have the regular ones, they have like the ones with the curl at the ends. It's just a bunch. So make sure you do your research. I already know who I'm gonna get to do mine. I know how I want them to look and everything else like that. So you can do lock extensions. You can do and they're permanent lock extensions. So once your hair gets to like a certain length, you can cut out the lock extensions if you choose to, which is what I'm going to do. You can do instant locks, which is like them taking the crochet needle and locking your hair up right then and there, so you don't have to go through all of the phases. So there are different ways that you can get locks without going through all the phases, which I didn't know this back in the day, because if I did, I probably honestly would have did it back in the day, because I knew I didn't want to go through the phases. So I still got locks and then did what I wanted to do, and then in the end, I had to wind up cutting my hair off. So yeah, I actually have a consultation today. I already know like how many locks I want. I don't want them small. I know for a fact I want them thick. And another thing is, y'all have to think about if you do decide to comb your locks out, because honestly, that's what I was gonna do in the beginning. I was gonna comb my locks out, but I just had too many freaking locks. I had like over 100 and something locks, and then they were so skinny. So I actually combed out like my back 2 rows, but I had so many locks and they were so skinny. So when I was combing them out, I wasn't retaining any length. It was just getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So I knew I was gonna have to chop my hair off anyway. So think about like, if you want locks forever or if you don't. I would say if you just want it to be like something you have for a few years, get them on the thicker side. So when it's time to comb them out, 1, you're not sitting there all day. And 2, when you comb your hair out, you're gonna lose hair because locks is just dead hair compiling up. So when you comb your hair out, you still want to have hair left. So try to get thicker locks. Having like over 100 something locks discouraged me and taking them out. I was like, I'm not about to sit here and do all this. But if I have like 60, 65 locks and they're thick, I'm not gonna mind taking them out if I want to. You know what I'm saying? So just think about that. That was one thing I didn't think about. I was just like, I don't want thick locks. I want them small. I want them small. I want them small. And then when you get them small, when you start off, they're just gonna get skinnier because you're retwisting your hair. So I would just say start thick and then see how you like it, but don't start so small. And I'm just super excited, honestly. And it's so crazy because I actually know how to do lock extensions. So make sure if y'all want lock extensions, make sure y'all follow my hair page and you schedule a consultation, because I do have consultations on my website as well. But honestly, y'all, I just didn't want to do my hair myself. I'm not even gonna lie. I put some distressed soft locks in, because y'all see my videos, my previous videos where I had some locks in. I did those on myself and I got irritated when I was halfway done. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm definitely not about to do no lock extensions, because 1, I want my parts to be straight, and then me having to just like do all that, like I don't feel like doing all that. So I would rather pay somebody to do it. So the lady I actually took my lock extension class from, she's actually going to put my locks in. So I'm super excited for that because I freaking love her work. I took like 2 classes from her so far. So 1, I know what she's doing. She's very knowledgeable at locks. So I'm just super excited to restart my journey. And of course, I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. And I love the fro, y'all, but it just, hair takes too much work. I am a lock gal. So I'm super excited to have my locks back. I'm about to go to my consultation. Yeah, that was pretty much, I think that's all of the reasons as to why I cut my hair off. The only thing I can really say, y'all, is please, please, please go through the process. There's no way for you to like skip the process or none of that and still expect to have healthy, thick, luxurious locks. So please make sure that y'all go through all of the correct steps. Don't be like me. I'm glad I went through this so I can come back and tell you guys how to go through your lock journey properly. And yeah, do it the right way. Locks are amazing. They are so easy. I saved so much money by not getting my hair done. Like I wasn't buying wigs and stuff like that. I wasn't really getting my hair done once my hair got to a certain length, of course. When I started wearing my locks out, I saved so much money. Like wigs and bundles and stuff, they add up. Hair products, they add up. I didn't really retwist with a lot of products. I used oil, water, and maybe like a little bit of Eco Style gel, like a tiny bit, just to retwist my hair. Some clips, of course, and that was pretty much it. So I'm super excited to get back into not having to do my hair. So yeah, y'all, those was pretty much the reasons as to why I combed my locks out. I know a lot of people They freaking loved my locks. Anywhere I went, they was like, oh my gosh, I love your locks, I love your locks, I love your hair, I love your hair, I love your hair, I love it. Which, you know, it was cool and all, but I just know for me, I just wanted healthy locks. It's okay for it to look a certain type of way, but deep down inside, if you know something is not right, change it. For me, I knew like, if I was to keep my locks, they were just gonna keep thinning, and then it's no need to hold on to something that is damaged. Let that junk go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And it's just hair. Hair grows back. Like, hair should not make or break you. Honestly, that's how I feel. Back in the day, I used to be super superstitious about, oh, hair, no. But now I'm to the point where it's like, I really don't care. It's just hair. It'll grow back. And my bald headed now, yes. But it's like, so what? My hair was long. My locks was like a good length. So when I cut my hair, people was like low-key mad, but it's like, why are you mad? This is not your hair, ma'am. Yeah, that's what I did. And I'm going to, of course, keep you guys updated on the journey and everything like that. So yeah, if you're new here, hi. I should have said that in the beginning. But if you're new here, hi, because I know this video is probably going to attract some new viewers. So hey, yeah, come join. Come join. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram. Follow my hair page at destined_locks. And you can follow my personal page at It's Me China. And until next time, you guys, bye.